What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm really happy to make this one today because it's about a tool that I personally use on a regular basis, if not daily, I would say. So many of you may have seen that I always recommend this tool called Keysearch.co. The reason for that is because this tool is very good for the price that you pay. So the regular price for this tool is about $17 per month, but with a discount that I provide to my subscribers, you get it for just $13, and it does some amazing things for the $13 that you spend. So what we're going to do today is actually go through all of the ins and outs in a complete tutorial and review of this tool, and I've been planning to make this for a long time, so I'm really excited to actually get into this video. So first of all, when we come on to the front page, they've actually improved that quite a lot. It never used to look like that. It's still the same price, so you can see you can get a pro feature or pro account, I should say, with 500 daily searches, YouTube research, exact domain check, rank tracker keywords, so you can track up to 200 keywords, competitive analysis, content assistant, so on and so forth. But for the most of you watching this video, you're going to go for this one. Okay, so it's $169 for the year, or if you do it monthly, as I said, you'll get a discount with my code, I think on the yearly as well, so that might come down to like $100 or 120 or something like that. So if we go here, you can see that you can do YouTube research, you can do 200 daily searches, which is more than enough, and their keyword research tool is very good. Rank tracker, you can track up to 80 keywords, so that means up to 80 different keywords that you're trying to rank, you can actually track and see the movement of that. You've got the content assistant tool, competitive analysis, and the API access. The CEO of the tool is a guy called Dan Prefer. I believe he's the one who also created the tool. Okay, so once you've actually got an account, you just essentially log in. When you log into this tool, you're going to be presented with a few different options. So the home page is going to consist of the keyword research tab. Then you're going to have keyword research, which is the tab that we're on, this one here, and then quick difficulty check. So this basically will tell you like the difficulty of a level of competition for a given keyword. Lists, so if you save any kind of lists of keywords, just say I was to save like, you know, this, whatever, I could essentially save it into a list and later come back to that. And then we've got brainstorm, which I'll go through in a second, and there's an extension tool for this, so you can actually use the tool on the fly when you're on Google. All right, so what we're going to do is first of all look through the keyword research tool. So if we take a look at this, you can see straight away it shows you, you know, what domains you'd like to include and not include. So you can see we've got like enabled all of these, and these ones are not enabled. So if you wanted these to show up as well, if you're using an adult niche or something, you might do that. Okay, and what we can also see is that they're pulling data from Google Trends here. So for each keyword that you type in, say how, if we was to put that, okay, so it gives you an overall difficulty, but it also gives you the trend of the keyword. So you can see here that it's given us like how many monthly searches it has on average. Okay, so like how high, this is a score on 0 to 100, I believe, obviously 100 being the highest and 0 being the lowest. So you can see on average it's getting like moderate search, and then during the months of March, April and May it starts to increase, April being the best month of the year. And this is taken over the past 12 months, which is a majority of data, like, you know, keyword search volume and whatever, all averaged from the last 12 months. So if we come down here, you can see the average domain authority of each given site or your competitor's website. So if we were trying to rank for this keyword, we can see all of the top sites are here, and then it shows us the Moz ranking, so Moz is metric as well, and then we've also got how many authoritative links they have to their site, and then how many total links. So if they have other things like low quality links, you know, blog comments and web 2.0s or whatever, then that will also show in here. And then we've also got whether they're using the keyword as it is inside of their title, description or URL. So that just gives you a bit more of an idea of whether they're actually targeting this specific topic. And then you've got the actual page authority of the given page that's ranking for that keyword. All right, now when we actually head over to here, we can see that it also gives you this feature which shows you how many keywords that specific page is ranking for. So I always preach this, that you don't need to just worry about one page ranking for a keyword, because if you look at just this one page, it's ranking for over 1400 keywords. So that's just for this page, and you can actually click that and export that if you wanted to, you know, do some reverse engineering, or you could basically go and do like a whole niche website on just this, because they're all relatively similar searches, so you could break them into different pages and whatever. And then you've got the overall URL traffic. So this is how much traffic this one page is getting, which is ridiculous. According to this tool, over 180,000 visitors, which is ridiculous. And then domain keywords, this is how many keywords the overall website is ranking for, and then how much traffic the overall website is pulling. So you can see that this one page is actually making up a large percentage of the traffic overall for this domain. And then you can also see the social presence for these particular websites and pages. So this just shows you if they've got like a Facebook post on it, or Pinterest, so on and so forth. Now down here you can see search engine suggestions. So all that is basically, if we were to drum this into Google, come down to the bottom, like how to make bread at home without an oven, artisan bread recipe, if that's how you pronounce it. We can see that down here, how to make bread at home without an oven, artisan bread recipe. So it's just those keywords. So it's actually pulling it, so you don't have to go to Google and drum the keyword in to find it. So that way you can actually, you know, do all of your research whilst within the tool, which is very good, because if you're just analyzing like these sites and whatever, you could quickly do that from just using the tool. Now over to the right hand side, we've got keywords which are related keywords. So you can actually set that to like Google suggested keywords. So that's what Google are suggesting based on what you've typed in. If you had like a one word here and you wanted to see auto suggest features, it's got YouTube suggest, competitor keywords, so on and so forth. So there's many different tabs. I usually just leave it on this, and then all locations. So you could set it to United States if you are predominantly trying to rank in that country, so on and so forth. So we can see here that there's quite a lot of competition here in these keywords. So it gives you this overall score. Now to understand this score is a little bit subjective, but they give you a general guideline to follow, and that's found in their blog. So if you actually click up here, you can see that you get 220 credits a day based on the plan that I'm recommending. You can basically click blog and go over to blog, and when you go over to the blog, you can go through it and you look for a page called what are SEO competition levels mean, and this basically gives you a breakdown of all the different scores. So light blue is like super easy. You can see that ranges from like 16 up until 18 or something like that, or 19, and then you've got actually sorry, that ranges from like 5 up until there, because I've seen ones at like 7 and stuff like that. And then fairly easy is light green, so that's 25 to like 29 or 30 or something like that. And then you've got like moderate, okay, which is deep green, and then moderate, difficult, and then hard, like fairly difficult, and very difficult, which is super hard. Okay, so you can see that these are showing like moderately hard, and then very difficult, you know, fairly difficult. All right, so these are hard keywords. So you can see this one is like, you know, fairly moderate or whatever. So you'll figure out these kind of guidelines over time by just using the tool. Don't take it as final, like it's just a guideline. It's just like kind of giving you a guesstimate, like a ballpark figure. So sometimes you might see this and it might be something super easy to rank for. So it's based on like the authority of the sites and the links and stuff. So like sometimes they're not even talking about the topic, but they're just showing up there because Google doesn't have anything else to put there instead. Always make sure you're manually checking your competition. You can do things like export these keywords. So say for example you found a bunch like, you know, that you thought, oh, these ones are good. You can basically export them in PDF format, and it will actually come out as a PDF. So you can call this whatever you want, and then it will come up as a PDF format. I'll show you how that works as well, actually. So that's how that comes out. So you can see if I actually check the scores, it would give me the scores, so on and so forth. So you can save that into a file, a folder, so you can see look, all the keywords, volume, and then, you know, the cost per click, so on and so forth. Okay, so if we actually come back up, one thing we can also do is set filters, which is very good. So if you wanted a certain word that you didn't want inside the results here, you could filter out the word how. So anything that comes in won't have the word how, Or if you wanted it to have just best or something like that, you know, if you wanted to find like a buyer intent kind of keyword, let's just say, let's put a different keyword and I'll show you an example. So when you're putting a keyword in here, it's a seed keyword, and then it just brings up all these related searches. So you can see this is the seed keyword, and then all of the rest are just related searches. So if I was to type like best, I wanted to find best, I could put that, and then we got all the best this, best that, yeah. Or if I wanted to find like review, I could probably find a few. Okay, there isn't any in the list right there, but that doesn't matter. And then you can basically also set this to like 4 or more keywords. So this is how you find the really long, easy to rank ones. So just say like 5 or something like that. And by the way, this isn't a keyword research tutorial, it's just to show you the functionalities of this tool. So you can see, look, this is how you find long ones, and usually these are going to be the easier competition ones, you know, so we'll probably find a few easy ones in there. See, so that best power tool set for homeowner, so if you click that, it will show you, see, so you can see these lower authority sites showing up here, so like this 18 one, so on and so forth. So you could actually take that tool, that website, and then stick it into the competitor analysis tool and bring up the keywords that they're showing up for. So that's how I'd find some easy keywords. I'll show you an example here. You could get this page, and then they have organic keywords, and then you'd bring up all of the ones that the domain is ranking for, because you know it's a low authority site. And then we've got all these easy keywords here that you could go and rank for very easily, you know. So look, best, these are all easy keywords to target. All right, so that's how the keyword research tab works. Now if we actually come down, you can see this quick difficulty. I personally don't use this. Like, this is like, I don't know, you know, it's up to you if you want to use this, but you can see that it shows you like the difficulty like 22, and then gives you that. You can use the keyword tool for that. You don't need this to do that. Okay, so you can save these into a list again, like, and what will show up in your list. Okay, so I've got different lists for different, you know, sites and stuff and whatever. So you can see I've saved all these easy ones here, which have like high search volume. Brainstorm, so if you can't think of ideas, you could put in like tools, and it will give you like all these suggestions, you know, of different kind of keywords that you can potentially branch out into to give you more ideas on what you need to do. So you got Amazon, eBay, YouTube. It's using all of their search engines to suggest these words to you, and if you click that, it brings you over to the research tab to go and explore that further. We've got difficulty browser add-on. That's of course earlier, as I mentioned, the Google extension. And then we've got Explorer. So what this does is, if you've got a website, it will basically reverse engineer the entire website. So it'll give you the amount of traffic that they get on average. That's a little bit inaccurate with this tool, but it's still very good. The difficulty score, like how the level of difficulty that this website can target and rank for. The overall domain strength, which is a personal metric used by this tool. Okay, so it's on a 0 to 10 basis. You can find more about that in their description in their blog section. And this is a 9.8, being YouTube. 53 million keywords they're ranking for in the top 100 Google results. And then you can see obviously the ranking distribution. You can see the anchor text. You can also see the backlinks overview, so how many links they get on average per month, okay, and how many of those links are do follow and no follow ratio. And then the overall backlinks, you can actually click view backlinks, and it takes you over to a different page where it will bring up all of the links that they have to their site and the individual anchor text and whether they do follow or no follow. And you can actually sort that by do follow, or sort it by no follow, sort it by domain strength, like of the links that are coming in. So if you wanted the highest competitor links, like with the most authority, you could, you know, set it to do follow and then domain strength. And then you could also export this into like a CSV for Excel, or, you know, export it into PDF, so on and so forth. And then you can set this to like 1 link per domain, or if you set it, it can show all links per domain. So some of them might have like 3 or 5 links from one specific domain. Okay, so you can see the anchor text here, and you can click show all anchors, and that's how that comes out. Okay, so that's how that works. And then on the Explorer tab, you know, there's a few other things, like you can reverse engineer their top pages on the site based on the traffic they're getting, and top performing keywords on the website as well. Okay, so if we go to competitor analysis, we can see that we can drum in the backlinks as we just came over. So that's what that does. Organic keywords, so this gives you a larger kind of outlook on the organic keywords that they're ranking for. So if we take a random website here, okay, so you can see that it's actually bringing up all of the different keywords that this website is ranking for. You know, you can set that to show 100 entries in one go, or 50, however you want to do it. You can export it into a PDF, as I showed you earlier, or into a CSV where you can, you know, edit and filter through different types of keywords later. And also you can do it on a specific page basis. So if you found like a page specifically that you wanted to reverse engineer for the keywords, then you could do that as well. And then a competitor gap, so this shows you, like, you know, your site against the competitors. So say for example we put in that site there, and then we took like one of their competitors, so let's say like modernhoney.com. So now what it's going to do is actually compare those two sites and show us the gap between the two. Okay, so we are Taste of Home in this scenario, and then Modern Honey. So you can see like all the different keywords that they're showing up for that we are not. It's basically filtering out all the keywords that both of us already rank for, and then just showing us the ones that we can potentially target that they're showing up for but we're not. And if we're a competitor site, we want to be showing up for as many keywords as possible within the niche. So if you think that you have saturated, you know, or you've exhausted your niche, you could come over here and drum in your site and a competitor site and see all the different keywords that you're still not covering. Okay, all the topics you haven't written for. And then we've got URL metrics. So this shows us the competitor website URL. So if we take this, can actually drum that into here, and then if we reverse engineer this, it will show us, like, you know, their page authority on average across the board on their pages, their domain strength according to this tool. Okay, so it shows you what all of this means. It's got a key thing up here, and then you've got domain authority, which is a Moz metric, Alexa ranking, I don't use that, rank strength, keywords on site, traffic to the site, maybe 1.4 million. That's 1.4 million visits. Then we've also got, you know, traffic, keywords, so on and so forth, their Facebook and all that stuff. Then we've got page analyzer. So this basically shows you the on-page SEO for a given page. So you would usually do this for your own website. So you would come in, and after you've created your content, you know, if you wanted to optimize and see how many H2s, H1s that you're using like properly and so on and so forth, you could do all of that. Make sure your interlinking's good. You've got a favicon on the site, how fast it's loading, you know, the speed, all of that. So it gives you a score and things you should fix, and, you know, all of the kind of technical stuff you do on a page. It gives you that breakdown here. And then you can see images that don't have alt tags. 8 of them are not showing alt tags, so that's the thing here, and it highlights it in red, so you know straight away. Underscores in the URL, you know, not really a great thing for Google. The next thing is YouTube research. So I'm not going to bother with showing you the YouTube difficulty and all of that, because it's the same thing. It's just basically the keyword research tab, but for YouTube. So if you wanted to rank a YouTube video, it gives you a score again, and, you know, again, you can try and see the level of competition here. It does base content on the older it is, the more harder it is to rank, I believe. But I don't really think that YouTube works like that all the time, because sometimes fresh content is good on YouTube doesn't mean that it's harder to rank. So you can see this, it's more old and it's harder to rank. I don't really know that the algorithm works like that. From my understanding, a lot more fresh content usually ranks better, but I don't really know, you know, so you'd have to check that out. And you can obviously put filters again, you know, to get how-to keywords and longer keywords, or if you want to have it in a certain score, you could do that. You know, volumes, like if you want a certain amount of volume, like 50 searches or more, then you could filter it for that as well, or cost per click, so on and so forth. And the reason why I'd use cost per click is if you're trying to find like buyer intent keywords, because if it has a lot of a high cost per click, then it means there's a lot of usually advertisers paying a lot around that keyword, which usually results in obviously the keyword being having a lot of buyer interest. So you can see like order shoes online, super buyer keyword. As we move on, we've got rank tracking. So what this does is this is probably one of the best features that the tool has. You drum in your site that you are building, and it shows you all of the different keywords that you're ranking for. You can add keywords to it. So you just add, so I haven't got any more space on my one, but basically it shows you your page authority, domain authority, the movement per day of your overall rankings, and then on a per page basis, it shows, on a per keyword basis, sorry, it shows you all the ones you're number 1 for, number 2, so on and so forth. And I mean, it doesn't show all of the keywords, it just shows you the ones that you've put in. Like it can show you more. Like sometimes if you put in like a competitor or another site and it has more keywords that you're not tracking, it will give you the option here. Like, I mean, mine has way more than this, but these are the main ones that I'm targeting. And you can obviously export that again into PDFs, CSV, so on and so forth. And it's very good because it tracks on a per day basis. And then, you've got like how many overall in the top 3, top 10, top 100. And you can have multiple different sites, add domains, group them, put this into reports. So you could also put them into, individual reports. All right, so the last tab is going to be the content assistant tool. So say, for example, if you wrote a piece of content like over here, and you were trying to rank for it. So you had your content and, say, for example, it's like this bread one or something. If we had this content here and we drummed it in here, it will give us the average word count that we need. It basically takes the top 10 ranking websites and then divides them by 10. It totals them all up, and then divides them by 10 to work out an average per page. So you can see the average here is 2,208 keywords, words. So you would need that kind of word count to target this keyword. I usually add 10 or 20% onto that. Then it also adds in all these Lsi keyword, which are latent semantic indexing keywords. So they're just keywords that Google's robot understands to be relatable to this particular word. So it wants to see these words on a page when associated with this. Okay, and you can see all the different words that are incorporated here, all of the related keywords here, and then top URL keywords as well. So that shows you all of the top URL keywords. Then as we move on to this, you can see that these are showing like some of the snippets from the pieces of content. So you can view their entire article if that works, and you can also copy text, so on and so forth. So you can see, like, if you wanted to view the article, you could quickly do it from here, and that shows you that. And then this also is quite helpful for your FAQ section. It shows you relevant questions that people are asking from different forums, websites, like comment sections, so on and so forth, around this particular keyword. So you could actually answer those in your FAQ section at the end of an article, and it can also help you to add a few keywords in there and rank for a few more as well, get some more traffic. And then we've got here word count. So if it can record the word count of the site or page, it will get all of them. And you can see here, this is how it worked out. The average earlier would add all of them up and then divide by the amount of varying pages within the given result. So for this one, it can't get the word count for those, so it might add this, that, and then divide it by like 4 or 5, how many ever there is there. And that's essentially the tool in a nutshell. So it does quite a lot for what you pay, which is why I recommend it. Now, there are some level of inaccuracies in regards to their backlink index. They don't have access to as much data as where you'd get like in Ahrefs or Keysearch or something like that. Whereas the keyword research index is very good here. Now, SEMrush might be a lot better, but it's like 10 times the price, so for $13 you're probably not going to get anything as good as this anywhere else. I can safely say, I would say this is the best tool for beginners in SEO and niche websites. So if you want to sign up to this tool, all you have to do is just go to the link in the description box and use the code that I've actually included, and that gives you a discount on the software there as well. And when you sign up, you can actually become an affiliate too and recommend it to other people. So just make sure to check out the blog section. I'll leave a link to this page as well, so you can actually take a read through that if you can't find it within the blog. So that's it for now. If you are new, make sure to subscribe. If you did like the video, make sure to leave me a like, and I thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.